So, here's the real question. How do dentists like you, who aren't willing to let insurance dictate how you will run your practice, who want to create incredibly profitable practices without sacrificing your time or sanity, how do you create the strategies to ensure your practice not only survives, but thrives in the 21st century? That's the blaring question, and Dr. Steve Schalintz is here to provide the answers. Welcome to Dental Practice Freedom Radio.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Dr. Steve Schalintz, and I want to welcome you back to Dental Practice Freedom Radio. And I wanted to share something with you that my wife was telling me that I thought was really important for your dental practice, for any side businesses that you have. And me being an entrepreneur, I really resonated with what she was telling me, so I wanted to be able to share it with you. So she was talking to somebody through Facebook, and I forgot exactly who she was talking to, but she was looking at me, and she knows that I have very specific goals. And she said, like, your goal is here. And she puts her hand out, and then she said, but you're here, which is way below that goal, right? So you have this big gap between. And she said, on that path, there's all these like distractions and shiny toys and things that you can work on and joint ventures that you can have and people you want to collaborate with and people you want to help. And they're all on the side of the road trying to vie from your attention. And if you get continually distracted by those things, you are never going to hit the one goal that you really had set. And that was exactly right. Like the last couple of years for me have been very interesting. I've had some very definitive practice goals that I hit. I had some very definitive goals and how I wanted to be able to help dentists, and I'm in the process of doing that. But I have this huge goal with regards to what kind of legacy I want to live outside of dentistry and what I want to be able to do for pretty much humanity. And I had that goal dormant for so long that I didn't really even know that I had the goal. And when I started to do some self-work and I went through training as a consultant for Bob Proctor, one of the things you do is you go through all the programs that you end up coaching. And so, I had done some serious self-exploration and discovery. And I had come to some conclusions that I didn't even know was dormant inside of me. And then they started to come to light and really started to think about what I wanted to do to leave a legacy and what kind of impact I want to leave. And I was thinking to myself, wow, these are some pretty big goals. And I don't even share them that much with people just because I don't want to subject my goal to a lot of ridicule, which is really sad. And maybe someday I'll share it with you guys that you're listening to the podcast, but it has nothing to do with dentistry. But what's interesting is all those shiny toys can distract you. And so, you think that everything is important to be able to move towards your goal, but a lot of those things will get you off track. So I want you to think of yourself when you start to set goals. You have to be very definitive, right? You have to know exactly what it is you want in vivid detail, emotionalize it, really get crystal clear on that. I know I've talked about that on an earlier podcast episode, but once you do that, you have to make a decision that that's going to happen. And then you have to be very, very, very selective in what it is you do. And I highly encourage you guys, if you haven't read the book Essentialism by Greg McKeown, you have to go read that book because Essentialism wraps up exactly what I'm talking about. So you literally are like a horse right now, okay? Like the Budweiser, Clydesdale, and you got your side blinders on. And the second you let those blinders come off, so you got your goal, you're in front of you, you know exactly what you want from your practice, you know exactly what you're trying to accomplish, and so you're going and you're going and you're going, and you got these blinders on, right? And then all of a sudden the blinders come off, and to your periphery, there's all these amazing opportunities on the path to kind of get you distracted. And so the only question you should be asking yourself as you're moving towards something is, first, you have to define what it is you truly want. Personal life, professional life. Set two main goals, okay? And then continually work towards those goals. And then whenever you get an opportunity, you literally can ask yourself, is this going to move me closer or further away from the goals that I've set? And if the answer is no, you have to find a way not to do that. If the answer is yes, you have to find a way to do it. And you would be amazed at what happens in your life and how much clarity you get and how much things start to fade away and distractions start to fade away when you get really concrete and crystal clear on your goals and then make a decision that those will become a reality. What I've been struggling with for the big goal is not necessarily the clarity of the goal. It's the decision that I'm giving myself that I'm going to go pursue this, because it is such a big goal that I have to fight with a lot of internal false beliefs that I have and internal struggles that I have about, can I do that and still be able to do what I'm doing? Can I support myself financially and still be able to move towards this goal? Like all of these things that are wrapped up in my head, my little 32, I'm not even 33 yet. I'm thinking I'm 33. I'm 32. So 32-year-old brain trying to comprehend the next phase of life and what that looks like for me and what kind of legacy do I want to leave. And, it's almost like there's a book called Finding Meaning in the Second Half of Life by James Hollis. He's a Jungian psychologist, and he talks about this, how you move from basically getting a subsistence level, and once you get to a certain point, your focus starts to turn more on serving others and leaving a legacy. And anybody can enter that part, which is what he deems the second half of life. You could enter that stage of 15, 20, 30, 50, 60, 70, doesn't matter. It's more of a mindset. And as I have felt that emotionally, starting to shift that focus to significance and not subsistence, there's a lot of things that come out of you. A lot of questions that you might have. And so if you're in your practice or, if you have a different business, you have to get crystal clear on what it is you're trying to accomplish, why you're trying to accomplish it. And then don't let those shiny toys start to distract you, right? It could be a CIRAC, right? Let's use a dental analogy. You know exactly what you want to offer your patients. You're like, this is exactly what I want to be able to give them as an experience. And I know this is actually the bottom line that we need to accomplish so that I can do that. Oh, there's a CIRAC. And yeah, I might not be in my budget, but my accountant said that I'm going to be paying taxes if I don't do something. So I might as well go get that CIRAC. And then all of a sudden you have this $2,500 payment that you have to pay off the CIRAC. And now you might not even want to do the CIRAC crown, but you're kind of forced to because you have the machine. And I'm not like, it's the second episode about CIRAC. So CIRACs can be great, right? They're getting a lot better. What I'm talking about is like, if that's not fitting into your vision, you should probably say no to the CIRAC. You should probably say no to the cone beam. You should probably say no to the newest gadget in dentistry that comes out if it is not in line with the vision of your practice. But too many people, they take the blinders off as horses and then they see all these shiny toys and it distracts them from the path. So get very crystal clear on your goal, the intention, and put the blinders on and say, there's certain non-negotiables in my life that I'm going to always follow. But then everything else, if it doesn't fit into this path of reaching this goal that I know that I want, that I've set, that I've made a decision on, I need to find a way to eliminate that. And that's my advice for you today as you start to think about this. We're kind of in springtime. So, you might have a New Year's goal that you set and you're like, I'm going to do this in my practice. I'm going to do this in my personal life. And it's already starting to wane. I want you to refocus on those goals that you have set. Are you getting distracted from those goals that truly matter? And if you are, how do you start to correct and get back on course? So that's my question for you today. Hopefully you got some value out of this. If you love this podcast, I would love for you to review it on iTunes, rate it on iTunes, and then go check out dentalpracticefreedomradio.com. It'll direct you to a page. And then you can actually get access to a master's pack, which is 5 free videos that are kind of an outline of what I use with my clients to help them with their case acceptance. So you might be able to get some value out of that. They're short 10, 15-minute videos that kind of lay out the 5 pillars of case acceptance, in my opinion, and things that are very important. And hopefully they'll be able to help you. And so thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate that. And I hope you get some value out of this. And I'll see you at the next episode.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode on Dental Practice Freedom Radio with Dr. Steve Schlintz. We'll see you on the next episode.